A man stood at the edge of the hatch looking down at his teammates who were diving deep into the ocean to search for oxygen. Instead of helping, he cut off their air supply. His teammates were stunned by his actions. They couldn't believe that their old friend could be so ruthless. Yet no one blamed him because they were all trapped at the bottom of the sea with their oxygen running low. One of the teammates stubbornly insisted on diving deeper, wasting precious air in search of oxygen tanks from a sunken ship. But what they didn't know was that they were only 2 steps away from the tank. In the end, they cut off his oxygen valve and tossed it into the sea, completely cutting off any hope of his return. As the situation became increasingly hopeless, a strange noise suddenly came from behind. The captain noticed that the heater in the diving chamber had malfunctioned. Without heat, they would soon freeze to death. In that moment, a young sailor had an idea. He used a welding torch to heat the water tank, which would produce steam. Just then the radio crackled to life. Rescue ships were on their way. However, due to the storm, they had no exact coordinates and might take several hours to reach them. The remaining hope for the group was shattered once again. John, suited up, entered the water to search for the oil pipeline while the rest of the team directed him from the chamber. But as he went farther, the tether behind him tightened. When he reached the oxygen tank and tried to grab it, he realized the tether was about to snap. The captain lost his signal and quickly donned another diving suit to go after him. When he found John, he was unconscious, holding an oxygen tank in his arms. The captain grabbed him and they finally made it back to the chamber. The captain urgently instructed his crew to replace the oxygen bottles while performing CPR on John. As oxygen was replenished, John was brought back to life. The captain then took the beacon and swam to the limit of the tether. As he was about to release the beacon, his hand slipped and he couldn't unlock the switch. To fix it, he had to remove his gloves. At that moment, a swarm of deadly jellyfish appeared behind him. His exposed arms were stung by their venomous tentacles. The captain screamed in pain, but the jellyfish wrapped around him, making it impossible to escape. In agony, he cut the tether, enduring the pain as he hit the button to release the beacon, leaving the hope of survival to his teammates while he stayed behind in the depths of the ocean. The 2 remaining teammates decided to ascend. However, during their ascent, the water pressure around them dropped rapidly, risking damage to their lungs. With little oxygen left, they had no choice but to proceed. But as they continued, they discovered that the diving chamber had stopped ascending. The rope had become entangled in the wreckage on the ocean floor. When they went to grab the diving suits, they found there was only one left. Jack knew that John had to take the suit and that he would be left behind to die. A dark thought crossed his mind as he picked up a knife from the ground. But then John's next action stunned him. John handed him the captain's note and helped him put on the suit. Jack, overwhelmed with guilt for his previous thoughts, could only carry John's hope as he drifted toward the surface. As Jack ascended, the pressure caused excruciating pain in his body. Struggling against the weight of the suit, he pushed himself toward the light. Finally, with all his strength, he broke through the surface of the water.